Hi y'all. This is Lady J coming back to y'all real quick. I'm not gonna be on here too long. It's gonna be a real short video. But yeah, just like I thought, I made a video yesterday, and just like I thought they were gonna do a very detailed and thorough investigation on him. They were gonna find everything wrong with him and say that was the reason why he died. Um, my thoughts, yeah, hypertensive disease is high blood pressure. How many people in the world suffer from that? A lot. So at any point, if you're under stress, if it's too much going on, yes, you're liable to have what? Oh, I'm sorry. And he also had coronary artery disease, which is probably some blockage in the artery, pretty much, from high cholesterol. A lot of plaque buildup. The man was 46. Maybe he didn't eat right. Maybe he had a high fat, greasy diet. Who gives a fuck at this point, is what I'm saying to you. Because I said this yesterday. I said they were going to use some BS like that to say that was his cause of death rather than this man put his knee in his neck for as long as he did. So I'm not surprised. I knew when they said they charged this man, I knew his autopsy came back. When they used third degree, they found a disease they could pretty much say caused his death. The man might have been having a heart attack at that time because he said his back hurt, his stomach hurt, everything hurt. And what did they tell you about a heart attack? Your arm, you get pain in your shoulder, feel like somebody's sitting on your chest. But in this case, somebody was sitting on his neck. Plus, he probably felt like something was on his chest. The other guy had his knee in his back. So, yeah, they contributed to this man's death. I don't care what kind of disease he had. And I knew they were going to go down this road. They did that. They did that with Eric Garner. I knew they were going to do it with him. Okay. And when they said third degree murder, I knew. I said the autopsy came back. They found something they can use as to so they can charge him with the lowest, which is manslaughter. Because he had, listen, y'all, because he had those underlying conditions, they're trying to say that's why this man died. But the part that they're leaving out is that this man was under stress and being physically restrained and sat on while he might have been having a medical condition. And you didn't let up off of this man for 1 minute. So therefore, you're still responsible for this man's death. Because like I said yesterday, if he had heart disease, anything like that, if he would have never encountered you guys, if he would have never been in that situation with you guys, if you didn't keep your knee on this man's neck and you ignored his cries for help, he probably would have lived on the next week, another month, another 2 months. Who knows? People live a long time with heart disease. See, this is where they're going to try to play with your mind. I got patients in their 80s and 90s with heart disease. I put on somebody's Instagram page, I think it was Mark Lamont Hills, when he said, I knew they were going to dig this up and try to make it seem like that's where he died from. That's BS. We had a man that was like 99 years old who had congestive heart failure. He had like 3 different heart diseases going on at all. So basically, he has congestive heart failure and some other things going on pulmonary wise, who caught the COVID and survived COVID. They had him on the news and everything when they was releasing him from the hospital. So you can't say to me, because that man had that's why he died. No. But that's what they're going to try to use. I'm telling you now. That's what they're going to try to use. And it's sad. You know, we've got children out here. We've got grandchildren out here. The last thing we need to be worrying about is them as they get older and become young adults and are able to not be in our grasp the way we would want them to be. Because if it was up to us, we would keep them home and keep them safe from everything. But we know that's not how the real world operates. We have to let them flourish and grow and become young, responsible adults. That's all you can hope for. But you also pray every day that they don't run into no fools like these cops were. Because I don't care what kind of underlying disease this man had, you still have to explain why did you keep your knee on that man's neck for 8 minutes. But of course, wait, that's theirs. They haven't done their own private autopsy. So at this thing, we'll just wait and see. Because maybe their private autopsy will show something different, or maybe it won't. But at the end of the day, you still could help contribute to this man probably dying earlier. Hypertensive disease, that's high blood pressure. He get on some high blood pressure pills and work out. Coronary artery disease, he got to chill out on the fat, eating high cholesterol and all that stuff. So if he does that, he'd be fine. He could live another 5-10 years with that heart disease. So why are they trying to make it seem like it's some big whoop-de-doo? They never wanted to charge this cop from the beginning. This is why they got the FBI involved. I feel like the FBI was protecting this man because he wasn't in his home. He was not at their home that everybody protested. So this is what I honestly think. They got him up and got him out of there and put him somewhere safe, or sent him somewhere where he felt as though he would be safe. That's all that was about. So don't be surprised if they come back and say, well, they can't find any reason to charge him under the federal statute. Because honestly, I don't believe that was ever the goal. I believe the goal was to protect this cop because they didn't want to charge him. And if they had to charge him, they wanted to charge him with the lowest degree that they could, where he would get the least amount of years. At the end of the day, they're going to spin it any way they want to spin it. Yes, this is true when you have those things but that's no different than a person who has heart disease or whatever like that sits in the heat, never opens up their window and don't know they have that, they die. Guess what exasperated their death? Yes, they had the disease, but the heat exasperated their death. Didn't they say that with Kenneka Jenkins? She died of heart hypothermia, but the pills and the drugs and the alcohol exasperated her death. And that's exactly how they're going to word it. That's how they did word it. But it doesn't change the fact that, these cops, they contributed to that man's death. So at the end of the day, I'm not too, upset or anything like that, because I already knew and I seen it coming. The fact that they didn't put that man in handcuffs that particular night shows they did not really want to charge him. So, for those who are angry, I understand. I would say take a deep breath, a very deep breath, and hold on for the ride, because it's going to be a roller coaster. Believe me, they're going to spin this so many ways. So when he get to court, he looks like a cop that was just doing his job, and the man happened to die in his custody. Believe me when I tell you. But we all know what we saw, and we all know that it was murder. But, I wanted to talk about these riots. I see a lot of people posting saying that it really wasn't our people that was tearing up Minneapolis like it was the white anarchists coming down, tearing stuff up like that. And I believe it. I said it when I was seeing the riots. I said, these is a lot of white people there. Where are the black people? Especially at night, where are the black people? Now, you saw some blacks. You saw them, and those are the ones that are lost. They're lost because they're lost. They have no idea what their plight is going to be like when this is all said and done. Whether this man is convicted and goes away to prison, whether he's found not guilty, the plight they will have is going to be something other than. And I would suggest that for our people, especially when your kids say they want to go and protest, you speak to them and let them know you can protest all you want, but you better not tear up your neighborhood. You already see that these people are already, what do they call that? Rebuying up the neighborhood, putting up these stores, these fancy condos right in the hood. They're already doing this everywhere. And that's exactly what they do. If they do rebuild, it's going to be so unattainable to the people who could attain or could afford those things at one point. So talk to your children about that. It's all right to go and protest. There is nothing wrong with protesting in what you believe in. How effective it is another debate. But I will say there's nothing wrong with protesting. But you need to talk to your kids on how they carry themselves and the do's and the don'ts of when you do go and protest. Because when things like that, that's what's going on in Minneapolis happen, the only people that are going to suffer is the community after everything is done and over with. I saw a lot of people that I know darn well don't live nowhere near that community destroy that community. And their aunties and their uncles and their dads and moms are going to be the ones buying up that property, putting up stuff that is unattainable to the people who could at one point afford to buy and shop in that area and even live. So, like I said, I wasn't going to make this a super long live. Like I said, I wasn't surprised because I knew where they was going. They were spinning their wheels because they were trying to wait for that autopsy, y'all. They was hoping for a wing and a prayer. So now they got something to work with. So even though this man is charged, will he be found guilty? Is what you need to ask yourself. And that's all I really have to say. Just sit back and watch. Sometimes you don't have to be silent, but you can just sit back and watch. Because sometimes you learn a lot if you just sit back and watch. I'm quite sure there are millions of people who are not surprised about this man being charged with third degree. But at this point, we'll take a charge rather than no charge. So, and hopefully those other police, they'll get charged as well. Because the way I'm seeing it now, they'd rather serve his behind up than serve up all four. But we'll see, But if you guys are going to go protest, like I said, wear your goggles, your mask, and if you can, your gloves. And especially to our people, to all people, don't tear these neighborhoods up. Don't do that. But I'm really directing this towards our people. Don't do that. Because when this is all said and gone and done, it's going to be a problem for the community. So that's all I have to say. Peace out, Lady J.